gets the carry, and he's loose. Brees winds and scores.
Puckett swings and hits a blast. Deep left center, way back. Touch 'em all, Kirby Puckett.
Lob it to Garnett, beneath the foul line. The fadeaway with a hand in space in the air for the win. Yes!
This is Sidelines on your sound and sports alternative, KVSC. That's right, guys. It's time again, once again, for my favorite show of the week, mainly because I get to be on it. It's Sidelines right here on KVSC as well as on KMOJ 89.9 HD3 down in the cities. Then we're also on UTVS, which is a fabulous time, and we actually
Always fun.
It's always fun. Thank you for chiming in there, Colin. And let's bring them right in. The panel for today, a lovely group of guys. We'll start in the corner because I felt bad putting him in over there. Will Heyer, a reoccurring guest on the show. Will, how
It's
are you
actually
today?
it's been a few weeks.
Yeah. It has.
I
noticed
think
that.
I was on probably 9 weeks in a row in some shape or form.
No wonder why our ratings were up last week.
I think it's because we made fun of Will last week.
Yeah, and you guys didn't think I heard that, but I definitely did.
To his right, my left, Andrew Erickson joining us. Andrew, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I just woke up. I'm ready to talk some sports.
You got that tired voice
I
going.
love the honesty.
Yeah, dude.
The ladies love the tired voice. So
Right?
phone lines are open, everybody.
Do they now?
And Colin Rutkowski once again. Harrison Smith, most effective safety in
Best
the NFL.
team in the NFL right now.
Thank you. We'll actually touch on that very soon here. And then the newest member in his first ever appearance on Sidelines, Jeremy Lagos. Jeremy, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Glad to be here.
I'm glad to have you. You've been on the other side of the show and the production side. You're now your first time on camera, on the air. How's it feel? Are you excited at all?
I'm really excited. It's nice to get my face out there.
All right. Yeah, and it is a lovely face you do got there. But let's hop right into it. Thursday Night Football last night. Battle for top of the division between the Saints and the Falcons. Drew Brees, though, chokes it pretty hard late in the game.
You could say Matt Ryan might have choked it.
I
He
think-
didn't play very well either.
Neither of them did, and I needed Julio to have a big day in fantasy, but he didn't. But Drew Brees, that was a late pick. Falcons secure it. Is this it for the Saints? Do they still have playoff hopes? Because that's going to be a tight division.
I certainly hope so.
I would assume so. They have a pretty good record.
They do,
They're
but-
about 8-4, I think, right now. So.
I think they need home field advantage, though, in order to do anything in the playoffs.
I think yeah, they got a good squad. I think if they're come and play the Vikings, I think we got them because their two most explosive players are both at the running backs, and Anthony Barr and Eric Hendricks are the most athletic linebackers in the league.
We also will if we win out, which I kind of believe we will win out. Knock on wood.
Big knock on wood.
I think it's going to be impossible if we play the Saints for them to beat us in U.S. Bank Stadium. I honestly think there's no team in the NFC that can beat us at
Don't
US
you
Bank
just
Stadium.
love it how we just flipped it
I
right
know,
to the
immediately.
Vikings?
No, I was gonna lead it back to the Saints.
And I'm going to bring it back there real quick. We saw Alvin Kamara, the phenomenal rookie
he
running
just
back.
blew it for my DraftKings.
Mark Ingram had some big runs too, though. They're both just tearing it up. They
Mark Ingram
one
had
of the
a-
best run games.
Yeah, but Alvin Kamara, he left with for concussion protocol, didn't return to my knowledge.
Oh, so I didn't even know. I didn't watch the game.
Oh,
so
that's fine.
now I feel bad that I just said that, but he got a concussion.
Just don't tweet at him. He'll be okay.
But yeah, he left last night's game. Mark Ingram he's still Mark Ingram, and like Colin said, he's gonna be the guy for them kind of the way on out. In a weird Saints offense that we've seen go from pass heavy to kind of run heavy this season. And you give me a look, Andrew, and do you want to argue that? Because I don't think there's any debate there.
I agree. But the point is that you're taking out one of their biggest reasons they've been so good at being run heavy this season. You took out Alvin Kamara. They don't have a backup option that does what Alvin Kamara does. When Alvin Kamara is on the field, you can't just play the run or just play the pass. You have to split even. And then Drew Brees, who's been in the league for years, and he can read a defense like probably no one else, and he can beat you by just putting Alvin Kamara on the field. It makes you nervous. And Drew Brees has always been a passing dominant player, so that means that he can beat you with his arm if he wants to. Obviously, that pick last night was not very good. He completely missed his receiver, underthrew it.
Like stared at the defender. It looked like.
Yeah.
I think he's really hurting without Brandon Cooks, guys. He just doesn't have anyone that can take the lid off the top of the
Michael Thomas had.
I'm sorry,
14 catches and
that
107
doesn't.
yards.
I'm sorry.
Wait,
You
did
need
say
someone.
14 catches and 107 yards.
11
Oh,
catches.
okay. 11 catches, 111. That's 10 a pop. That's good.
You just
Don't
don't
get me
have
wrong,
you don't
that's
have
not
any you
crazy.
don't have anyone that's going to burn the top of the defense.
Brandon Cooks, to put it in perspective, Brandon Cooks would probably get 4 catches, 80 yards just because of one 60-yard touchdown. And then, but that's
still,
what the Saints
yards.
don't have anymore.
That's production.
Right.
And Michael Thomas, very good receiver. I don't like Will said. I don't think he takes the
He had
top
a
off.
touchdown too, though.
Yeah,
He
but
did.
that was a 1-yard reception. So
Yeah.
he's got the shakes, but he doesn't have that like initial explosive speed. But nonetheless, but when you said Drew Brees, probably the only guy who can really read a defense, I think I heard 1,000 cries from crying Packer fans somewhere in the distance because Aaron Rodgers is still out.
Well, he obviously couldn't read a defense, or else he'd be playing right now.
But he is out. He's eligible to
Yes.
return next week when the Packers play the Vikings opponent this weekend,
Not gonna
Carolina.
happen.
You don't think so?
No.
Because
Wow.
they're according to everybody, they're still in the playoff hunt despite being, I believe, 7-6.
Yeah, I filmed a quick little plug. I filmed a NFL podcast with Hans Bristol, Nick Spelliopoulos last
Shameless
night.
plug.
But I just want
Where
to
can I
quickly
find
say
that?
the two.
Is that SoundCloud?
SoundCloud, my SoundCloud. Look up North Star Sports. Anyways,
perfect.
I don't like no plugs. No. Anyways,
Last one.
Hans and our friend Kevin are both Packer fans. They both said they think the Packers can make the playoffs.
Of course, Hans.
There
is
could be a
Packer fan.
10-win team in the NFC this year that doesn't make the playoffs. I don't
Right,
see any way the
exactly.
Packers make the playoffs.
Yeah, they have to win out and hope Seattle
They-
loses out.
They do have to win out, and if you look at their schedule, they can get to 9-7
I think
and
they could
possibly make the
I
playoffs.
think
Their
they could do
schedule
it.
is a cupcake.
If-
Go look at their schedule; it's nothing. It's
You-
literally
do
nothing.
it. You also have one game without Aaron Rodgers potentially.
If
Yes.
Aaron Rodgers and the Packers make the playoffs, for the Vikings, kiss your Super Bowl dreams
Yeah,
goodbye.
I
Yeah,
said
you
that
should be-
last night too.
you should
If
be
the
really
Vikings
scared.
get home field, though, what is Aaron Rodgers' record in that stadium? It's
Ooh,
0-2.
good point.
Never won
Good
in
point.
U.S. Bank Stadium.
I don't want to see Aaron Rodgers,
No
man.
one
I
wants
just
to see
don't
Aaron
want to
play.
see
If
Aaron
Aaron Rodgers
Rodgers
rushes back and they try to get him ready to try to make a playoff run,
He's not 100%.
his collarbone is already hurt, and it's so much easier to hurt it again if he comes back.
Bountygate.
All right. Okay, we don't need. To
I'm
be
not
the
saying
Saints.
Bountygate. I'm saying, if you don't throw the ball away and Anthony Barr happens to say, "What's up again?" then that could be bad news.
a big what's up.
I would
Yeah.
like to bring up the question quickly, though. Would you rather lose to a game-winning field goal by Blair Walsh and the Seahawks, or would you rather lose to the Packers?
I would rather win.
No,
Yeah, that's-
but if one of the
Blair
two had-
Walsh. I'd rather have the Blair Walsh field goal.
Mhm.
Yeah, because then it's just like
Then
it's
you
just-
don't have to hear anything from Packer fans.
It's just
Thank
Twitter
you.
berating then, whereas, I see Packers fans every day, unfortunately, in my daily life. It's a 24/7 occurrence.
It's awful.
They're everywhere.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's an epidemic. But we'd have to live with that. It would be so much bigger of a burden. But
The
let's
whole
look at
offseason.
let's look at the remaining games for them in their schedule. They are at Cleveland, taking on the Browns, and
That's a loss.
Win.
I'm actually very excited.
I've
be a
got
Kaiser.
Cleveland's defense on DraftKings right now. They're about to put out 30 points.
Deshaun Kaiser's going to throw some touchdowns.
I am this close to starting Josh Gordon this week. So close.
Oh, you got
Because
to do it.
I feel like I need to.
I don't think Cleveland can win. I
Just
don't.
out of
I just
respect.
don't think they're gonna win this weekend.
Really?
It's just something about the Packers. They almost beat the Steelers
no,
in Pittsburgh.
that was one that I definitely was shaken up by.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say they win that game. I'm gonna say they win this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Bold.
Is it
You
though?
said
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm
the
just
same
trying to
thing.
be a jerk.
They then are at Carolina next week, and I think they lose that game.
Yes.
I mean,
Well,
say,
it depends. It depends if Aaron Rodgers comes back.
but
They
even
have
if
a
Aaron
chance
Rodgers
with
comes
Aaron
back,
Rodgers.
that Panthers defense pretty good.
it
Luke
depends.
Kuechly.
Luke Kuechly.
I love Luke Kuechly.
It depends on who shows up. Is it the Panthers from week 4 or the Panthers from the rest of the season?
Yeah, I'm not worried about that defense.
No, like that team that team
Ooh.
is the most Jekyll and Hyde team
Yeah.
in the NFL because you could have
True.
Cam come out and throw 5 interceptions for 50 yards and the defense holds him in the game for a little bit, but then you got Aaron Rodgers on the other side of the field. Even at 80% with Aaron Rodgers on the other side of the field, that's still a little scary. You're still a little nervous.
So he's 1,000 times
I'm
better
excited
than
to
Hundley
play
at
the
that point.
Panthers this week.
Do you think
I'm
it's
excited too.
as more of a test for the Vikings, or
No, because it's going to be a beatdown.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can see that.
all right.
I mean, what? So as of right now, there's nothing to say that there won't be a beatdown on Sunday.
Funchess might not play, and who else on that offense is going to scare you?
Oh, That's bad.
Good
If
point.
he's out, they're
C
done.
McC.
I mean, you're holding Julio Jones to what, 24 yards?
2
Christian
catches,
McCaffrey.
29 yards.
Yeah, I would say I've definitely I haven't criticized Xavier Rhodes at all on the show, but I've said that maybe he's not the best cornerback in the league. But now I think it's safe to say
definitely is.
he's definitely the best cornerback in
He's
the
also
league.
So
played through
good.
countless injuries when you look
He's
at it. He's
so
come off the
good.
field the last 3 games due to something, and he comes back and shuts his man down every snap. So.
Yeah. And then Packers would play at home at Lambeau against the Vikings. I think the Vikings are going to sweep the road with that one. They're going to do knock on wood again, but I don't see anything barring it from it. And then they're at the Lions to end the season.
No, they're at Packers. Sorry.
Cupcake.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry. Just want to make sure.
Yep. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but I do, just for like one game, I need Aaron Rodgers to come back against Carolina so I can have Jordy for
Hey,
fantasy.
remember
championship.
what was it? Was it last year or 2 years ago when Aaron Rodgers said everyone relax?
Yeah, last year.
RELAX.
And then was it run the table after that?
Yeah, and then they
More like
got
X-Lax
blown
because he
out, but-
crapped the bed.
But either way, I'm just saying, don't count out the Packers until they're actually
Zinger.
out. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well.
But he throws to a lot of guys. Case Keenum's thrown to a lot of guys, and possibly, arguably, the best wide receiver pairing in the league between Stephon Diggs, can you dig it, and Adam Thielen. I love these
I'm
two.
cooking up
Who do you-
a feeling.
Who do you compare to those two?
Well,
Um,
it would have
I-
been Devontae Adams and Jordy Nelson, but they're
let's say with a healthy Aaron Rodgers, but I've also heard Juju Schuster-Smith, who honestly I've not sold on yet, and exactly, and Antonio Brown, just because Antonio Brown's a top, I think the top receiver.
DeAndre
here in the
I don't
Hopkins,
know.
Will
I have
Fuller.
Undisputed.
I think Antonio Brown's the number 2 wide receiver in the league.
behind.
Odell Beckham Jr.
Tariq. Oh no.
Okay, I mean,
bold,
yeah,
bold
I mean,
statement.
yeah, I think it's tougher.
I think
with,
if you go with
you know what, I agree. I agree with that because he makes Eli Manning look way better than.
I
Eli
think
Manning
if you
actually
go
does.
with pure receiver, I think OBJ is obviously up there because you don't see him very often catching those bubble screens
keep in
out
mind
of
we're
back.
talking about duos though, pairings.
Duos?
Yeah, best pairings. Like
Well, who's he got as a
Sterling
duo?
Shepard and Brandon Marshall. They're both
Sterling.
good
Okay,
receivers.
Brandon Marshall 2 years ago.
I would rather throw the ball to Sterling Shepard before I'm throwing it to Brandon Marshall.
how about this one? How
And
about,
Sterling Shepard still, yeah.
how about this one? When healthy, Julian Edelman and Brandon Cooks. With Tom Brady there, that's
I
kinda
like
dirty.
that.
Stephon
but
Diggs and Adam Thielen.
I think Diggs and Adams,
I think it.
Diggs
I
and
think-
Thielen, sorry.
I think we got it.
outside, because they can go anywhere. Edelman, mostly a
can,
slot
yeah.
guy, but Diggs and Thielen can both beat you on the outside.
And
I
they're
don't know how
both great
scared I
route
am.
runners.
Yeah, exactly. Great after the catch.
Diggs drops too many
They're-
passes. That's his big issue.
And he's
But
had
But I can
Oh, yeah.
live. I can live with it though. 'cause
Okay,
you saw what he was doing.
he doesn't have
earlier
the
in year.
Demarius Thomas drops.
Oh
though.
no, I'm not saying
He's not
that,
Ted
but
Ginn.
If we're
Yeah,
talking about
oh,
best,
Or Amari
if
Cooper.
we're talking best wide receiver duo in the league, you can't be dropping wide open passes.
But okay,
think
so
Thielen
He
makes
doesn't
up for it,
drop
though.
wide
I really
open
don't- I
passes
really
that
don't see him
often.
dropping that many
on
passes.
Thanksgiving. He dropped 2 on Thanksgiving,
but if you look at
Okay, there's 2.
and we could have lost that game.
There's
So-
2.
Okay.
but we won.
I'm just saying those are the most recent ones.
Another
The
duo I
drop
would
passes
say,
before.
but if you take the drop passes out of it, would be Crabtree and Cooper.
The-
But Cooper's
yes.
dropping passes left and right all the
Yeah.
time.
What is wrong with
Who's
Amari
in-
Cooper?
I don't know. Who's in Jacksonville?
He's-
You got Allen.
Alan Hearns
and
Allen
Robinson, but
Allen
he's been
Robinson.
out.
Aren't they both hurt?
They're both
Yeah.
good, but
yeah, they're both good. But
they're
it's
both-
not- it's-
yeah.
Lee.
it's-
They're both a little bit above average.
They don't
Yeah.
make Blake Bortles look good enough to be in the conversation.
Blake
No.
Bortles
I don't
is
know if Blake
awful.
Bortles makes himself look good enough to be in the conversation.
Blake
True.
Bortles
Very
is
true.
trash.
Threw like 3 straight pick sixes last year, 3 straight games, something like
Dumpster
that.
fire.
Yeah.
That's what
Terrible.
he is.
Put almost any other quarterback on that team, and I think they're
And
better.
they're in the
Oh,
playoffs. Like they may be in the playoffs
sure.
right now, but
Let's,
They have-
let's
I-
trade him Case Keenum at the end of the year.
ooh, I
wait,
like
he's-
that. I
we,
like
we
that.
have,
back
well, we
next
don't
year,
have him
they
on
can-
contract, so
Yeah.
I don't think we can do that.
No. Sign him and trade him.
Yeah, do a little sign and trade action.
little more Vikings praise, a little more Vikings discussion. Case Keenum, he is doing what Tom Brady did to Drew Bledsoe right now this season, just coming in phenomenal play. Vikings. That's but the stats are very similar. If you looked at mirrored, you couldn't tell me with no face or name. You couldn't tell me which one was Brady's stats, which one was Keenum's stats.
But Brady was a rookie or hadn't played. He was behind Bledsoe they had no idea what he was. We know what Case Keenum's put up so far. Not here.
I think even more reason.
Given he played for the Rams and Jeff Fisher, and you have to give him a pass a little bit on that because Jeff Fisher automatically brings you to 8-8 no matter what.
Worst coach in the league.
But he did play for that team, and he wasn't this level.
But
he went 3-4.
He's also been a part of a team where
Jeff
he's made the
games.
players around him better.
with Jeff Fisher, you're going 8-8. That's the bottom line. Very average coach. Great. I love the guy. Average coach. But back to what I was going to ask. Is he a top 10 QB in the league currently?
Yes.
Right now.
And why isn't he in the MVP discussion? I haven't seen anybody. If his name is anything else,
Keep him out of it.
Keep. I
That's
mean,
what he
I
likes.
I
Yeah,
like
they
it.
were talking about that,
I
yeah.
think we should keep him out of it. But I'm saying, why isn't he? You've seen what he's been doing. You lose your number one running back. Sure, Latavius Murray is a former Pro Bowl running back, but still, you're taking guys. You're making them a lot better. Stephon Diggs still very good. Adam Thielen having a breakout season. 1,000 yards receiving already.
Top 3 wide receiver in the NFL right now.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I just don't understand why he's not in any type of MVP discussion.
It does blow my mind a little bit, but I can see why. I just think it's a name game at that point. It's really down to it's gonna honestly probably come down to Tom Brady, Carson Wentz, and I'm glad Case Keenum's not even in it.
Yeah, no, I mean,
But he could be.
If you look at Carson Wentz's stats, he is unbelievable this year.
Even Russell
absolutely
Wilson, too.
unbelievable. So
Russell Wilson's creeping up in the conversation now too. Yeah.
he's looking good. If he picks up a big win for them against LA this weekend, I think he's more than likely in the discussion. Is that this weekend or is that next week?
No, that's this weekend, I think.
Yeah, okay. Let's move on to our next topic here.
Or
Oh, we're not done. Are we not done?
I was thinking it might have been Eagles-Rams this weekend. I don't know for sure.
I don't know. I think they play the Rams next weekend because I think it is
Okay.
Eagles-Rams.
Yeah.
Eagles-Rams. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
Eagles-Rams.
Thank you. I just misspoke there. NBA, we had a kind of arguably big trade, a big name a couple years back, number
Three.
three overall pick. Julio Okafor and Nick Stauskas and a second rounder are going to go to the
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn Nets. Thank you. So he's going to be joining D'Angelo Russell, who was the number 2 pick in that draft. Thank you. But in return, they get Trevor Booker. I don't know what to make of this trade, honestly.
Tank.
So
Tank.
who's the
tanking?
Nets?
Both teams may as
I
well be.
think both.
No.
No,
the
I'm
Sixers
kidding.
are making
The Sixers aren't tanking, but the Nets. Jaleel Okafor, man.
He never wanted to be there. He was never a good player there. He was never a fit there. With they've gotten rid of Noel. They kept Embiid because Embiid, as we've seen when healthy, is
pretty good.
One of the either top 3. I would say 3 is a stretch.
5. I'd put him in top 5.
Okay.
Anyways.
Of centers. Okay.
I want to hear this point.
So that trading Okafor away out of a system they didn't want and getting a player of Trevor Booker's caliber who was a top 8 pick, I think.
Yep.
And he fits what they want to do more.
He'll be a good
He's
bench
not-
player.
He's a 6-man. He'll be their good 6-man, and I think he'll fit perfectly in on this team.
Good for the Sixers. You're making a move for LeBron. Who cares? I think you're going to be. You guys aren't going to be able to beat the Wolves. Now with the Nets, Jaleel Okafor.
Trust the process.
He can't really do anything on the court other than get up and down it and go dunk.
Okafor put some points up his rookie year.
Yeah,
he can score.
I feel it, but he's got to work on the mid range a little bit. You got to be able to step back in this NBA and take a 3 once in a while. I do not like him.
If the one thing the Nets can do, they can score. So he definitely helps them there.
Yeah, I just don't like him. I've never been a fan.
He's an old school style player. Back to the basket, back down every single possession. That's how he is. He doesn't really fit a lot of teams' systems anymore. Put him in the league 20 years ago. He's one of the best players in the league. I think.
But the D'Angelo Russell Okafor will be interesting duo
Pick and roll
for
combo,
a few weeks. It'll be kind of flashy. We'll see.
Well, I think it'll be what we saw with Boogie Cousins and Anthony Davis.
Oh, and this
last
is
year.
also a point I want to get across. Jaleel Okafor is really just a more polished version of Willie Cauley-Stein, and I'd rather have Willie Cauley-Stein on my team.
What?
I think Willie Cauley-Stein can play a little bit better defense than Okafor.
Exactly. That's why I want him on my team.
I mean, I would prefer Willie Cauley-Stein too, but I think people sleep on Okafor a little bit.
I'm
He got
ju-
buried
I'm just
down there.
trying
to.
He got
They
buried
do.
down there, but he can score. He can play. He'll do some things.
Yeah, he was a top 3 pick. He
Yeah.
was projected to go number 1 out of high
You know
school.
who also was a number 1 overall pick? Kwame Brown. What's he doing
This is
now?
like
I thought you were going to say Anthony
35
Bennett.
years
I
ago?
cringed a
Okay,
little
but
bit
still,
there.
there's always
Anthony
bad picks
Bennett.
everywhere. It's not like every number 1 overall pick's a sure thing.
And then you got guys like
And
Isaiah
that's not
Thomas
true. You
getting
can't
picked
prove that.
last who
Nail
are
Yakupov.
MVP candidates.
How can you prove it though, Will?
Draymond Green was a second-round player.
Exactly.
He's pretty
you know
good.
who went?
Yeah, he's all right. He's okay.
Isaiah Thomas, last pick in
Yeah.
the draft.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. And
But yeah, so all right, that's a discussion we can continue another day. But this is where I want Jeremy to shine. The Cavs are dominating right now, 13 straight. Just everybody else's mics is off. You're just gonna talk about LeBron.
all right. So if you think about it, the Cavs started this year pretty rough, but who did they trade? They basically traded Kyrie Irving for Jay Crowder. That's basically who they're playing. They didn't get their MVP candidate last year, Isaiah Thomas, back. So the team was worse off. And they didn't really get to play a lot of games with each other. So obviously it was going to start off a little rough. Same thing happened with LeBron when they went to Miami that first year. They start off a little rough. They pull it together. And when LeBron James, who's the best player of all time, when he's on your team, he'll figure it out. And he's having, in his 15th year, arguably his best year ever. He's shooting, 58% from the floor. He's shooting a higher percentage from 3 than Steph Curry. He's playing some of the best basketball ever. It was only going to take him a little bit to get him and the Cavs rolling. And they're still hurt. Shumpert's out. Isaiah Thomas isn't back yet. So you're telling me that these guys aren't going to be one of the best teams in the league once that happens? People are worried about the Cavs weren't going to be a top 3 seed. They're going to be a top 2 seed, maybe even the first seed in that conference, which isn't a good conference, but man.
It's December.
Do you guys...
Thank you.
You never know who's gonna come out on top, obviously. But I think the Cavs are gonna dominate the East now.
I can't wait for the rematch.
I still
between
think
Celtics
Boston
and-
is
Yeah,
going to be
I
a
just-
much better team.
Boston's
I'm
way
just
better.
waiting for Gordon Hayward.
Way better.
I also,
Gordon Hayward.
Gordon Hayward's good. I
He's
told
up.
you guys.
He's walking.
I told you guys he was going to come back at the end of the season.
yeah, no,
no one
I
believed
agree.
me.
No,
Oh,
okay,
my.
hello. I believe
Call
you.
him with 2 L's believed me.
He
He's
wasn't-
coming back.
He wasn't wearing his boot the other day in an
No.
Instagram post or
He-
something.
Yeah.
I think he might be shooting.
Put him on the court.
He was
Comeback season.
He was shooting
What
from
do-
a chair the second he could. Like
Yeah, he's
this,
coming. He's coming.
This man
back.
is coming back.
There's
Cavs can still make one more
This
move,
is-
though.
True.
They have that Brooklyn pick sitting there.
That's true.
Boogie
That's
Cousins.
scary.
Please.
Tristan Thompson,
Please
Brooklyn
take
pick
him
for
out of the
Boogie
West.
Cousins.
Why would
Please
they
take him out of the
trade-
West.
Why would they trade for Cousins? I don't understand.
He
Get
is arguably, if it's not LeBron, he's probably playing the best in the league this year. Is Boogie Cousins.
I'd
Wow.
rather have Boogie Cousins than Tristan Thompson on the Cavs. If I'm a Cavs fan, just from a Cavs point of view, I'd rather have Boogie Cousins any day of the week than Tristan Thompson.
And you're also still. I don't think LeBron's leaving again, but you're a little worried if for the Cavs if
He's
LeBron leaves.
definitely.
He's
if
gone.
He's for sure.
You get
he's
Boogie
gone.
there.
LA.
Boogie, Isaiah
change.
Thomas, LeBron James.
He's gonna go to the Lake
He
Show
is
or the
gone.
process.
LeBron is not going to go to the Lakers.
But hopefully he goes to Philly.
See,
Yeah.
the one problem with
I can see
LeBron
it.
going to Philly, though, is they will run out of cap space because he's going to sign the biggest contract in the history of the NBA. I mean, it
No.
happens every season.
No,
But
it doesn't.
He's not going to.
I-
He makes so much money everywhere else.
I
He
don't
doesn't
know.
need to.
No,
He's gonna leave him a little bit of change to go pick up some players that he is gonna recommend to
but
himself.
the Sixers also need to sign all their other good players right now. They have
But-
Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid. You have all. I mean, their team is
all of
Yeah,
their
but
other,
they'll-
they're all other 2 good players.
Markelle Fultz.
Markelle
I think
Fultz
he'll.
is a-
I think
He's
he'll
up
be.
5
baller.
years on
I-
his
He's a
deal.
baller.
All right. That's
I don't
enough. So bottom line, the point I got from that discussion, there's a lot of other teams that could threaten, but right now,
The Wolves.
Cavs are.
No.
The Wolves are in a
Cavs are
different
down there.
conference than the Cavs,
So-
so
I'm just
Yeah.
saying. I'm just saying.
The Wolves are also
Overall,
very disappointing right
They've
now.
been so disappointing.
Did you not just hear the words that come out of my mouth? December. December.
Do you want to spell it out? No, I don't want. I don't want you to.
Thank you.
But anyways, what do they need to fix? Because they lost to Memphis.
Yeah, they lost to
Yuck.
Memphis, which is
Yikes.
kind of that was right after the firing of Fizdale, which
I didn't
I,
like.
I love the guy.
I liked him. I liked.
I like the guy a lot.
I can't believe-
And you know, Memphis has always had the Wolves number, but it's just kind of sad when they were 11 straight and we just couldn't. Oh. I don't know, man. We need to figure something out. One thing though that I do not like, I don't necessarily agree with Jimmy Butler when he's coming at Tom Tibbs about minutes, but they do need some more players coming out the bench. I know Belly, he's hurt right now. He'll come back pretty soon. Shabazz Muhammad is getting sporadic playing time, and he was pretty much our sixth man last year. We need him to at least be on the court, at least.
I thought Jimmy Butler had a pretty good point because Thibodeau ran an 8-man rotation, playing guys 40 minutes on the second half of a back-to-back. You can't be doing that.
It's like the Saints and Falcons too. They put Saints players were complaining about playing too much. In every sport, there's going to be problems.
I guess my problem with it is I don't care about the minutes that they're getting played because they could go out there and play 60 minutes every night and they're going to be fine.
Yeah,
they are. It's
I don't know about that.
No, Colin, you
You're
don't.
playing
No,
at a high
no,
level.
no. You don't know.
You don't know either.
They're
You don't play it. We don't play NBA.
It doesn't.
basketball.
They're suited to play at that high level because their bodies are built that way. I
Okay,
could go do it at Hollenbeck every night.
They
and
don't
I'd be
play 60
just
minutes
fine.
a night in high school.
It
though.
does. Okay.
Who plays
Anyways,
60 minutes a night every night?
The minutes I don't care about.
And
The
they
rotation.
practice?
The rotation needs to change though. We
They
need
need-
to get
yeah,
more players playing in it.
Yeah.
But the
I agree.
minutes. Don't come to me and talk about minutes. How about you make a
So
you make an
minutes?
argument
Hold
on.
case
Talk about
based
minutes?
on the talk about minutes.
Minutes.
So you're saying if
the game.
if Butler, Towns, Wiggins, everyone played about 40 minutes a night, you'd be okay with that?
I
You'd
don't
see no
care. I
problem.
don't think that's going to change in the playoffs. That's not going.
Yeah, that's
no,
the
it won't.
playoffs. You're playing a 7-game series. This is the regular season. We're in December. Did you not?
I'm
say
just saying
December?
these guys
Hold
are
on.
ready to
December.
run.
We're in
Everyone's
December, guys.
Everyone
I don't-
coddles NBA basketball players like they are not capable of going out there and yes, at a high level, running around for 40 minutes.
Want to know?
Oh,
right.
it's 82 games.
You want to talk about sturdy players though?
right. I'm throwing
Somebody
the
at the
towel.
Wolves
I'm fine.
are interested in
No.
DeAndre Jordan.
No.
DeAndre Jordan to the Wolves confirmed.
I like it.
Maybe. Right
Who would we
now,
give
right now confirmed. Breaking news.
Breaking news confirmed.
Morse code just came in. I just got the update. Jeremy, is that confirmed?
Confirmed.
Perfect. Thank you. Please credit Sidelines reporting for
Yeah, don't
any
credit.
future news breaks. But let's move into some people who maybe aren't as coddled. Some college basketball players, as the
God, that was
14-ranked
disappointing.
Minnesota Golden Gophers lost.
They're fine.
Not a good look. Not
It's
the best
not.
visual.
It's not a good look, but they'll bounce back. You know.
Like Big Sean?
Who they got? Well, hopefully not like Big Sean. Hopefully it's a little better than that.
But by the night, they're counting stacks. Okay, that was my last rap.
Wow.
That was the last rap
it's-
quote of the day.
It's gonna be a weird season in the Big Ten because you're gonna have Minnesota, who is good this year. They're a good team. They're a top 15 team in the NCAA,
And they deserve to be there.
And they do deserve to be there. They've recruited well. They play well. They almost lost to an Alabama team who only had 3 players. We'll talk about that later. And Wisconsin is awful.
I like it. I like it.
Absolutely.
Big fan of that.
No,
Yeah.
it's so weird. We didn't lose that much, and they have just been
Except for Hope.
absolutely terrible this year.
And it's such a big thing in Madison is Wisconsin basketball.
Yeah.
It's huge there. And to hear that to see they're not playing very well, it kind of warms my heart a little.
It does warm.
Just a little bit. I'm sorry.
I
just
agree.
A
It's a
bit.
little weird though because normally it doesn't matter who they have. They usually end up playing well
Yeah.
and they make the tournament and they make big runs every year. So
Like-
it is a little surprising.
Like they might still make the tournament, but they need to get it together before like January. But it just doesn't look like they will right now.
The biggest
I'm
Big
okay with
Ten
that.
team you need to be worried about this year is Michigan State. They've
They're
got a
looking
bunch.
solid.
Yeah.
They've got a bunch of great players. They got Miles Bridges.
This is the one year I might pick them to go all the way, and then they don't completely wreck my bracket.
I'm
Oh,
really hoping
yeah.
I'm really hoping that the Gophers can somehow overtake them in the Big Ten tournament this year. Saying that, I mean,
They might.
I think we all assume that the Gophers are going to have a good seed in that tournament. Hopefully, we can
Hopefully.
take them down.
Real quick, very quick thoughts. Will Duke be the front runner the entire season, or some
No.
team going to threaten them?
No, it's gonna change up.
it always changes.
Who's the one who's
I
going to
like
come
North
that way?
Carolina as one of those teams.
Okay.
Michigan
For a
State.
little bit.
Coach
Michigan
K is going to
State,
fake an
too.
injury or something like
Michigan State. Yeah, they'll lose a game. It just usually happens. It's
St.
you know what I
Cloud
mean?
State.
like,
St. Cloud State. Oh yes.
Skull
I actually just saw Adam Heat Anderson outside the studios walking earlier, so They're gonna threaten. Watch out! Watch out! Watch out!
Oh,
Grayson
they're gonna
Allen.
have a game
The
tonight.
Huskies
They're
are on
gonna
the
have a
prowl.
game tonight.
Yeah, but yeah, you're gonna be out there. And
Yes,
I'll plug that
yes.
at the end of the show.
Oh,
Don't worry,
cool.
Will. Hold your
We're getting
horses.
there.
But let's talk about our last topic for the day because we only had like 3 or 4 minutes left. College football playoffs. We have the final 4 teams: Clemson, Alabama, Georgia, and help me, Auburn. Thank you. I didn't know if I can't remember.
No, Auburn's not in it.
Yeah, I was
Auburn's
gonna
not
say.
in it.
they lost. They
Oklahoma.
lost.
It's Clemson.
Come on.
Yeah.
Baker
Sorry.
Mayfield.
That's right. Ding, ding.
Gosh, you're
The-
just
the Bakers-
throwing
Money
all
Mayfield,
kinds of
baby.
disrespect on his
wow.
beautiful name.
Money Mayfield.
Hey, I did say Wisconsin was going to go to the national title game last week, so this isn't
Yeah,
my
and
discussion.
you were
That
My
was
big
not
thing
even
was-
close.
Okay,
Not even
okay.
close.
We're going to talk about this because this is
yeah.
awful.
Yeah. So
Alabama
is- Yeah, it's not, have a second. Talk about Alabama.
I am so sick of Alabama. They lost in their last game to Auburn, who is now a 3-loss team. So their 3 best wins.
Don't be afraid to get too emotional.
Their 3 best wins are against a garbage LSU team with 3 losses, a Mississippi State team also with 3 losses, and Fresno State, who is not even ranked. Alabama has played. They were, but they're out now. Alabama has played absolutely no one this year. They scheduled an FCS bye in November, which I'm just. Oh, it's so frustrating that they get to play FCS teams in November, and Wisconsin's out here playing an all Big Ten schedule, or Ohio State's out here playing an all Big Ten schedule and scheduling Oklahoma at the beginning of the year, and they lost that game. It was a close game, and they're getting reamed for that. I know the Iowa game, that was a weird fluke, and that shouldn't have happened. And I'm sure Thomas was just jumping off the walls because that happened, but Ohio State should definitely have been the 4 seed, not Alabama.
Yeah, I don't like Alabama. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm done with college football for now.
I think their name is probably the one thing that got them in. But
Come on, Navy and Army.
Oh, okay, that game.
gonna be a good game.
What is,
that's the
one
one
of the
game
best
I do
games of the
watch
year?
every year.
what's the national championship going to be? Is it going to be Georgia in it? Is it going to be Oklahoma? That 2-3
Money
matchup?
Mayfield.
Clemson and Oklahoma.
It's gonna be Clemson.
I think I want to see Baker Mayfield go there, but
I do
I
too.
think it's going to be Clemson.
Do we know
going
the
back to back.
2 matchups, like what the matchups are
Yeah,
going to be yet?
it's Oklahoma and Georgia in the Rose Bowl, and then you have
A rematch.
the All-State Sugar Bowl.
In a rematch between
between
Clemson and
Clemson and
Alabama.
Why
Alabama.
can't you just put Georgia and Alabama together? Oh, wait, because then you couldn't have 2 SEC teams in the championship.
Rigged.
Yeah.
There will be 2 red teams in the championship, though.
Yeah,
Alabama, Money Mayfield,
Money Mayfield.
Oklahoma.
I'll
It's gonna be those
I'll
2
boycott
games.
the
Alabama's gonna
national
win.
championship if it's
Money-
Georgia and Alabama.
money-
I won't
would-
watch it.
I would hate that game.
I won't
That'd
watch
be
it.
awful. That'd be
Hate that
absolutely
game.
awful.
I think I'm already done with college football, except for Army Navy.
You're done with college
Yeah.
football, and we're done with time for the show today. But before we go, a couple quick plugs. Will Heyer, Thomas Breach, as well as, who's your third?
I think it's Nate Hagnes tonight.
Nate Hagnes tonight will be joining you, and we'll have some men's and women's basketball coverage starting at 6 o'clock on the KVSC Sports Stream. Before that, though, if you want to tune in, Andrew Erickson will be out there with Drew Steele for some women's hockey action as Wisconsin comes to town. So
Oh yeah.
which one are you going to be
Yeah.
rooting for?
Well,
Think about your answer here.
SCSU, but
Thank you.
He's got obligations, man.
Wisconsin
He's a
is
respectable
10-0.
person.
This is
And
gonna
that
be
one,
a tough game.
puck drop at 3:07 on the KVSC Sports Stream. Then just don't even touch the dial because you're going to go right in some basketball pregame right there. But then dual task it because tonight we got SCSU Huskies men's hockey, number 2 in the nation, taking on the number 5 team, North Dakota, at home at the Herb Brooks National Hockey Center. 7:37 puck drop, live on 88.1 KVSC. Pregame starting 15 minutes before that. And make sure to tune into Husky Sports Friday later on at 4:30 after the 4 p.m. news, hosted by Will Heyer, right?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So you can hear his voice again, hear my voice again, as well as some pretty good coach interviews and in-depth discussions. So that's going to wrap it up for us here today. Vikings are going to win this week. That's confirmed here and confirmed. DeAndre Jordan
Vikings.
to the Wolves.
Skull to the bowl.
Go Navy, beat Army.
Stay tuned, though, because coming up next, we have Brooks bringing you the afternoon progressive rock show right here on the farthest left on your radio dial, 88.1 KVSC.